Hi guys! So recently my family and I traveled to Jeju for our family vacation. I believe you have seen it in the vlog that went up last week. This video will be about how I use Notion to plan the Jeju trip and also get things ready for the trip. I'm really excited to be partnering with Notion for this video. I've been using Notion since the start of uni, or even earlier, since about 2021. Notion has been one of my dream brands to collaborate with. So thank you so much to Notion for sponsoring this video. If you don't know what Notion is essentially an all-in-one workspace where you can customize it to your preference and your workflow. You can really shape it and craft it to how you want it to work best for you. Personally, I've been using Notion as my weekly planner for school, for planning content, as well as sponsorships and deals I get. I also use it to track the movies I've watched, the animes that I've watched, book reviews. But what I also use Notion for is actually to plan my travel. Today I'll be showing you just that, and I'll be taking you through how I've used Notion for my Jeju Korea trip. I'll be first showing you guys the homepage, where everything is set up and laid out accordingly. So if you look at the homepage, this is actually where I have an overview of everything that I use in Notion. If this layout looks familiar, it's actually because I adopted it from Moya's Notion template. I'll leave the link of her template down below and her video as well. When I first started using Notion, I was really overwhelmed with all the different layouts that you could do. So I decided to just edit off of someone else's template because I think having somewhere to start editing from is less overwhelming and much easier to get into. I used her template and basically customized it to my own preference and my own workflow. In this homepage, I have my current projects list. I use it when I have big important things to do. So in this case, it will be this Notion project, my upcoming final presentation, and my driving test. So this is a code that came with Moya's template, and as well as this image, but you can change them to your liking. And I also have these quick links to my YouTube channel, my Instagram, and my email. I also have this widget which shows the progress of like the year, the month, the week, the day. So I won't really get into specifically the different pages. I'll be focusing more on specifically how I use Notion to plan my travels. So I just gave a brief overview of the rest of the page, which is my weekly tasks, my day-to-day tasks, and my monthly overview. This is definitely not updated because this was from last semester actually, when I was still studying for my exams. I think what people usually do is to create multiple different pages, but I prefer to just create like one page, which is this home page, and then have multiple sub pages within it so that I can access them easier. The travel page is actually one such page that I did that too, so let's just hop right into it. As you can see, all the cover art is in the same style, and it's actually because it's by an artist I actually saw on Instagram back then in 2021 called Jiang, and she has a lot of very cute art that I downloaded from her Twitter. And if you find it very familiar, it's because I also use her art for my desktop wallpaper and my phone wallpaper and stuff. I'll leave her Twitter account link in the description below if you want to check her out. So yeah, this is just a brief overview of my travel page. It's very simple. You can actually customize the gallery page, and I used the image by Jiang, but you can use the ones given by Notion or even upload the ones that you want. And you can actually put an emoji icon for you to see at the start. So I just put an airplane to represent travel, and also named my page, my sub page, travel. And under this, you can see that there is my different pages from when I traveled to Penang, Hong Kong, and Korea. This is the Jeju page, and I also used a different art from Jiang, and I used the tangerine orange emoji as the icon because Jeju is really well known for its tangerine, and I named the page Jeju 2024. And so when you first go into this page, you can see this countdown. So this is actually a countdown for the Jeju trip, but it's way past the first day of the trip, so it's like 1 week 3 days now. I actually used the widget called Indify to make this, and it's free to use, and I'll be showing you a tutorial on how to use it later in the video. This widget below showing the weather forecast is also a widget by Indify. It's really useful for when I was planning what clothes to bring there, because it was spring transitioning to summer, so I wasn't very sure whether I should be packing a little bit warmer or lighter. So it's good to have a nice overview of how the weather will be like when I was planning for the trip. If we go down below, I separated the different sub-pages according to different parts of the trip, which is like packing, planning, travel, logistics, and memories. Over here I have this Animal Crossing widget which shows like the date, the time, and it also plays the background music from Animal Crossing automatically when you enter the page. For my pre-trip planning, I made a packing list sub-page, and it's organized by the different groups of stuff that I will be packing. So there's clothes, and I'm able to plan my outfits out by day because I try on my outfits before I go on holiday. Having the packing list on Notion is actually really useful and helpful for me because the stuff I pack is more or less the same, so it's very easy to just copy and paste the entire page into the next time I'm traveling. The next page I have is actually the stuff that I need to buy for the trip. So this is actually a really short page because I didn't really have to buy much. Just had to buy eSIMs for my family and a brown top. Next section is my planning section. There's my content planner and my shopping list. I make vlogs, and I also have to think about what content I want to put on Instagram. So I created this content planner. It's just very easy to refer to all my content that is for this trip within this page. So I have like my Notion video, and as for the other vlogs, I started to plan the video while I was in Jeju, so I could split the video accordingly, manage to plan different parts so that content won't be so repetitive across the different videos. Wrote what would be the outline of the video, and day 3 to day 5, so I can have an overview of what happened. I also wanted to plan out the reels. If you don't know, Notion has a Notion AI tool which helps you streamline your workflow or make things faster while you are doing things in Notion. So that can range from like taking notes to even brainstorming ideas for your itinerary or content planning. So in this case, for reels, I wanted to brainstorm what sort of reels or short form content I can take in Jeju. To get a long list of content ideas, I just have to press the space button to activate the Notion AI, and then just typed in a prompt: brainstorm real Instagram reel ideas for a trip to Jeju. So the AI tool would come up with things that I can do, and you can continue writing or just be done. So in this case, I'll just tweak it more to lifestyle content. And then Notion AI will be able to provide you with the prompts that matches what you want. I'm happy with this list, so I will just press done and then delete the ideas that I do not want as much. So for example, sunset meditation, arts and craft. This initial list was created by Notion AI as well, and it gave me ideas to capture like the sunrise and sunsets for Jeju and compile it. Now going back to the Jeju homepage, let's dive into the shopping list. I created this list because I wanted to buy a lot of things from Jeju, especially from Olive Young. So I created this table with all the skincare and beauty items I wanted to get from Olive Young and from other parts of Jeju. So what I put in this table was the name of the item, the price that I can buy it for in Singapore, the shop name, and as well as like a checkbox to keep track of what I have bought and what I have not bought. In Jeju, I bought the Alna toner, the Balance Full moisturizer, sheet masks, and sunscreen, same concealer. I didn't buy the brush. This is also very useful because I can just pull out Notion and I can check the prices right here in Notion rather than rushing the search for each individual item on like Shopee or whatever while I am shopping. It makes it much easier to shop when I'm there. So diving into the itinerary, I also used the gallery view for this and organized it by day. This is just an overview of each day, the information each day. You can also use Notion AI for this to plan your itinerary. Plan a day in Jeju where I will be staying at the Ocean Suite Hotel. So as you can see, it's a pretty comprehensive tool even for planning your trips, and it can also recommend you food to eat at the area that you're staying in as well. And lastly, there is the memories page where it's kind of like a journal. My whole intention of creating this page was to remember the stuff that I did in Jeju, because even though we have an itinerary, things don't really go according to plan. Sometimes food places that we intend to go are closed, and so I just want to write down specifically where I went to each day, and so that I have something to remember it by in case someone asks me for recommendations in future or I want to visit the place again. I didn't manage to keep this up every day because I was so tired, but I managed to do this for the first day. 10 AM we went to Yeongdam Rock, and then I just put some pictures within it. And used to not be able to crop images within Notion, but now you can. So, and for food, we visited Noman. I put the price to 28 won for 2 seafood ramen and 1 pork dish. And yeah, so I will definitely be filling this up eventually after my crazy work week dies down. So now we're showing you guys how I use the Indify widget. You just go to indify.co, create an account or log into an account, and you can just press add widget, and you can choose what specific widget. Let's make a weather region and title it Korea. And then you can just search the weather of the place that you want. Okay, maybe want to go to Seoul. Change the matrix, and you can put how many days of the week you want it to show. Animate icons, and you can change the color of the background as well. And how you enter this into Notion is to just copy the link. Just copy the link into the page that you want, and then press create embed. And then there you have it. So it's actually a really quick and easy tool to create widgets within your page. You can also search online for other widgets that you want, or look at other creators for examples. So yeah, that's how I use Notion for my Jeju trip. If you're interested in trying out Notion for yourself, I'll be leaving the sign up link in the description box below. Do let me know if you're interested to see a Notion tour of the other pages in my Notion, and perhaps how I use Notion for school or as a creator. Thank you once again to Notion for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be a Jeju vlog part 2, I think.